It's not often we get to see a very unique side of a federal politician away from Parliament Hill. CPAC travels 2 hours north of Toronto to the central Ontario riding of Parry Sound, Muskoka, where we meet up with Minister Tony Clement, raising his voice not in question period, but on the FM dial at a community radio station.
Two, and we're back.
We're back. Cool cats. Good to be live and in Huntsville, Muskoka for Tony Clement's Rockin' Shindig. I'm your host, Tony Clement. I'm here with James. We are at 88.7 on your dial or huntersbayradio.com.
Tell us about your radio show.
This is a monthly 2-hour radio show on Hunters Bay Radio, which is a local community radio station here in Huntsville. And yeah, it's just a great time. 0% politics, 100% music, and I get to schedule the songs that I want to talk about and do a little bit of research on them. Most of my shows are thematic, so there's this show obviously has a breakup theme. Let's hear them. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, followed by We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. Great little drum intro.
Parliamentarian radio DJ, that's quite a stretch. Is this sort of your alter ego?
Well, I think it's just a great, we need time away from our job, otherwise it becomes all-consuming, and then you are not as good at it, I don't think. So, yeah, I take my job seriously, and it's an important job, but it's also nice to have a passion for some other things, too, and one of my passions is music.
Get any ribbing from your parliamentary colleagues about
mostly they're
Tony Shindig?
They try to tune in. Ron Ambrose has put in some requests at it on occasion. Aaron O'Toole talked about just this week with me about a radio show he did when he was in his college days. So yeah, I think it's actually something that we love to talk about when we're not talking about serious stuff.
The blues, the reds and the pinks, them things for sure. Love Stinks.
Starting us off, of course, the classic Love Stinks. Jay Giles Band came out in April 1980.
This listener tells us people are able to separate the radio host from the politician.
People tune in and say, oh, did you hear about that? And it's Tony. It's not Minister Clement. Tony's a different kind of politician. This is him and his community.
It can't always be positive, the responses you get?
No, it's been pretty positive. Yeah. I think it's very easy. If you don't like the show, you don't have to tune in. There are other alternatives.
Technical operator James Carroll notes people tend to forget politicians are real people.
At first it was a little daunting and intimidating. I mean, we're talking a senior cabinet minister. But once, we realize this is about the music, we have a real good time.
Okay. We should do a show all in Limerick. Come on. Right.
Clement has been a volunteer radio host for 3 years.
Well, Mr. Clement came into this studio when we were operating out of the basement of this building as an internet broadcaster to come in and meet the people that were the new media in town. And we discovered at that point that he had a real love of music.
That's all backphrased a little bit?
Yeah.
Little, like that
a little
blues
bit off the beat, you mean? Yeah, that's very good. Great little song. I'm mostly an alt-rock and classic rock kind of guy, and so what am I listening to now? The Foo Fighters, really? Decemberists, kind of folk alt. There's a lot of surprise that I have this knowledge about music and that I'm not talking about politics, but then they tend to like the show.
Why is this just 2 hours once a month? Why aren't we getting more of Tony Shindig?
It takes a lot to research. For every 2-hour show, I probably put about 4 hours of time on my own time just to do the research. So I think that's about what I can manage given my hectic schedule.
And Clement has no plans to quit his day job as a member of Parliament and president of the Treasury Board of Canada.
I think part of the cachet of it is that I am who I am. So I'm not sure I'd be good enough to do this professionally. So I'm not quitting my day job anytime soon, but it's for me, it's a nice way to relax a little bit and hopefully spread a little bit of music around in people's lives on a Saturday. That's the way I see it.
Reporting from Huntsville, Ontario, I'm Heather Seaman.